Hi. Okay, I was born in Canada. When I was 14 years old, I started working. In my family, it wasn't normal for somebody to carry on with education. It was important to get a job. You were to get a job, move out, start a family, carry on with the cycle. That was pretty much it. In my final year of high school, it was decided by my family that we were going to move to the UK. During that time, because I was a minor, it was also chosen that I would leave school and get 2 jobs to save money for the move when we got here. For the first 7 years of living in this country, I was in and out of different jobs. I couldn't keep a job. I didn't have any experience, I didn't have any education, and my family, they didn't really think it was important. Just go and get whatever job's available. When I was 21, I had to declare myself bankrupt because I got into a lot of debt. This is when I realized that I was in a low social class. I didn't think I was ever going to be able to pull myself out of this social class. 5 years ago, I had my son. Unfortunately, I became an unplanned mother. I was unemployed and uneducated. I had no idea what I was going to do in my future. All I know is that I had a child, and I didn't want to represent him the same that I was represented. During this time, I ended up on a bus ride. Of all places, you hear random conversations, and you just eavesdrop sometimes. This one conversation was a woman telling a lady about GCSEs at a local college, and she said that the GCSEs are free of charge for parents that didn't finish education, and that they offered creche for the students, for the children, free of charge. I actually sat on the bus thinking, well, I want to support my child, but I don't have education. So how can I do that without being a hypocrite? So I called the local college and I asked about it, and I started my GCSEs. I had no intentions of going into any further education after that. I strictly wanted my GCSEs so that I could support my son in his education. During this time, while I was studying for my GCSEs, the Lifelong Learning Centre here at the University of Leeds reached out to me. I classed myself as the forgotten, and told me about different degrees that were on offer at the university, and told us about some study days that we can come and experience. Now, in my mind, that wasn't for me. I'm not allowed to come to university. I didn't come from a rich family. I didn't come from a family where it was expected for you to go to university. So it was advertised to me a few times about coming in and experiencing different courses, or just coming in for support for my GCSEs so that I could do better. So I came along to the events, literally just for the free food and the free childcare, so I could do my GCSEs. It was during this time that I realized social mobility was happening. While I was at these events, I was recommended to speak to an advisor. When I spoke to an advisor, this person literally picked my brains and tried to find out what kind of dreams or what kind of job that I wanted in the future. I actually had one, I just never realized before. They told me there was a degree at the university that I could apply for, and that I could get the job that I wanted at the end of it. I still didn't believe it. I took it home, I thought about it. I thought, it's an opportunity that can't be missed. I'm definitely not going to get the place, but I'd be really stupid not to apply. I got my acceptance letter. I've never been so proud in all my life. It was during this time I realized social mobility can happen, because it did. I wasn't just experiencing a life that I could make for myself, but I was breaking the barriers. What social mobility means to me is breaking down the social classes and allowing people to experience and live lives that they choose for themselves. I didn't have to choose the life that was socially constructed for me. The Lifelong Learning Centre at the University of Leeds, during these events, have learning champions that come and talk about their life stories. These learning champions are people just like me, just like every single one of you that are students, either now, previously, or are trying to assist somebody else in their education. Basically just telling their life story about challenges, obstacles, the success stories, any part of your life story that you think is relevant and that can touch somebody. These learning champions were an innovative idea from the university, and the reason why I'm saying innovated is because to me, an innovation is a change. It's something that is created as in a project. It's something that can gain something. It's not just creativity. It's an impact, it's a power, it's being able to get things across to people. Basically, these learning champions spoke to me, and they told me these life stories. And I could relate to them. They were emotional, their stories were relatable, and it made me realize that I can actually visualize myself here at university, because I still didn't believe, and I still don't believe that I belong here. I did a conference last year, and it was during this time I had a bit of an epiphany, and I realized how far I've actually come in my journey. And I've basically suggested that I was trapped. I was completely solid, and I had loads of chains wrapped around me with a great big padlock. When the university came and found me, one of the forgotten, they broke the padlock. It came off. When I came to the university and I spoke to the learning champions, they started to unravel the chains. Now that I'm here at university, the chains are gone. I don't just have to do the job that I said I wanted to do. The potential is endless. I can do anything that I want to. I couldn't feel any greater for the power that I have. So do you know what I did? I volunteered to be a learning champion as well, because I wanted to make a difference in other people's lives. I wanted to tell that person in that row that, yes, you can make a difference in your life. You don't have to live the life that's been designed for you. You don't have to do a specific job because you're told to, or because that's all you're qualified to do. It's not as simple as that anymore. Everybody's looking a little bit confused. Life is not simple. There's lots of challenges. There's lots of fights. There's lots of compassion. There's lots of aims and goals. The only thing is, a lot of us forget to reach for those. A lot of us put those aside while we try to get by in life. We need what's best for the future, and I think what's best for the future is social mobility and innovation, and I think with that, we're going to guide what we want as the graduates of the future, and also the education system that we need. I can't say thank you enough to the University of Leeds or the Learning Champions for what they've done to me. Not only have they taken me out of the social class and let me experience social mobility and innovation, but they've created me as a person. I always knew I was creative, but I never knew my worth. And I'm thankful for that. Thank you.